and welcome back to my channel. Of course, welcome to my channel if you're new. If you are new, then hello, lovely to meet you. My name is Alex, and if you are new here, make sure you are subscribed and you put the notification bell on so you're notified of every single time that I upload. Now, for today's video, I've got such an exciting one because I'm finally doing a dupe video that I've been meaning to do for a while, and that is these palettes right here. I'm going to be putting this palette to the test to see whether it's a good dupe of the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. As you can tell, I've obviously got the eye look on right now, but before we get into it, I want you to let me know down below which eye you think is which. So which eye do you think is Huda Beauty and which eye do you think is W7? I'm pretty sure you've seen the Huda Beauty one before, but this is what the packaging looks like, and it's definitely much different to their like normal palettes. And this is what the inside looks like. This palette actually retails for £58, which is insane. Like, so expensive. However, I did come across this on the W7 website, and it's called the Total Eclipse. Obviously the packaging is a little bit different, it's a bit more chunkier and bigger, but this is what the W7 one looks like, and the inside, guys, is practically identical, which is absolutely insane. The major difference between both of these palettes though is that the W7 one is £9.50. This is so much cheaper than the Huda Beauty one, so that's why I wanted to film this video today, just so you see if you can get similar results with both the palettes. And also, before I get into today's video, I do want to let you know that next week I'm doing eyeshadow palette week again. I've got so many new palettes that I need to review. Stationery, Carnival Free, Sample Beauty and Beth Painter. I've also got the Morphe 35C, and I've got another couple of palettes that I want to do reviews on, so make sure you are subscribed and you are ready for that, because we're doing a whole week of reviews. So without further ado, let's jump into Past Me with no eye makeup on, where I swatch both of the palettes side by side and we can see if they're similar. So let's jump on into it. I do just want to quickly mention that in my Natasha Denona video, a couple of people said there's no way they'd spend that amount of money. Someone said, is there like a dupe for this palette? And I did do a bit of research, and the Makeup Revolution Forever Flawless Unconditional Love palette is supposedly a like close enough dupe to that palette. So because this channel is mainly for us drugstore lovers, and we can't spend that amount of money all the time, so I'm going to do a dupes video eventually with the Natasha Denona Love palette versus the Makeup Revolution one. So just to let you know, a couple of you guys wanted that, and I'm going to give it to you. So yeah, that will be coming very soon, but today we are focused on Huda Beauty versus W7. I will also be doing the nude palettes eventually. I still haven't got any rubbing alcohol. I really need to purchase that. I just need to go on Amazon and buy it. Then I can repress the shimmer shadows, and I promise you that video is coming very soon. And so these are what they look like side by side, and as you can see, I mean, you can't get much more Huda Beauty Retrograde than that, really. Like, they look so identical. The thing that we'll be testing today is if the swatches are the same. I'm going to swatch both the palettes side by side, and also if like what the formulas are like, and if you can achieve a similar look with the W7 then Huda Beauty, then there's no point spending money on this. Okay, so I've zoomed in so you can see a little bit better, but we're just gonna like swatch them like this so you can see what they look like against each other. I'm gonna swatch the Huda Beauty shades first, just so then we can see if W7 have like a similar shade. The first shade in the Huda Beauty palette is called Cosmic, and that is what it looks like. And then the first shade in the W7 palette looks like that. So I mean, I think maybe the Huda Beauty one's a tiny bit darker, but they literally look so similar, like literally the same. Look at that. Then we have Utopia from the Huda Beauty palette and Galaxy from the W7 palette. So as you can see, I feel like the Huda one's a bit more peachy toned, but they are still very similar. So we have Ultraviolet from Huda Beauty. Oh my god, that is just absolutely stunning. And then we have Luna from W7. So obviously you can tell that the Huda Beauty is much more pigmented, but they look so similar. I think maybe the Huda one's a bit more bluey in the reflect, but still pretty similar. So then we have Nebula from Huda Beauty. Oh my god. And then we have Big Dipper from W7. Again, similar. You can kind of tell the Huda one's got a bit more pigment to it and a bit more of a reflect, but still they look pretty similar. Then we have Mercury from Huda and Astronomy from W7. Wow, okay, they look real similar. It looks proper blue on camera, but in real life it is like a purpley shimmer. But yeah, I'd say the Huda one's just a little bit more blue. If you guys like me doing like live swatches, please let me know, because I don't know if you guys prefer me swatching it live or just showing you all the swatches once I've done it. So just let me know. And then the last shade in the top row is Haze, and then Zodiac from W7. So yeah, that is the first row. Okay, moving on to the second row. The first shade in the Huda palette is called Off Balance. Oh, I had a bit of wetness there. I did just build that up slightly because it was a bit damp from when I just cleaned my arm, but I am doing these all one swatch, as you can see. W7 Milky Way. So I think Huda is a bit more pinky toned. So now we have Galaxy from Huda and Solar from W7. Yeah, again, I think it's just the right reflectiveness, and maybe the Huda one's a little bit darker. Then we have Libra Oracle. Don't know what that says. The Huda one is much more purpley. This one is quite pastel, but similar vibes. Similar vibes. Then we have Crush from Huda Beauty. It's a beautiful like stony colour. Then Cassiopeia. No idea. That's from W7. So again, Huda one's just a little bit darker. We have Momentum. This isn't really going to show up because it's pretty much identical to my skin tone. And then we have Hercules. Yeah, you're not going to see them. They're just similar to my skin tone, so that's why I can't see them. But again, I'd say the Huda one's just a little bit more deeper in colour. And then this shade, oh my god, is called Super Moon. Oh my god. And then we have Orion by W7. Oh yeah, they are pretty. So yeah, this is the second row. It's quite neutrally this row. I didn't realise how neutral that is, but yeah. Okay, last row we have Vortex by Huda. And we have Latitude by W7. Ooh. Why does the W7 one look more pigmented? Next we have Hot Mess, which is literally me, lol. I swatched that very close to that shade. And then we have Little Dipper. Wow, the W7 one's actually really pigmented. I'm actually so impressed right now. Like, the shades are so similar. Like, there's very slight differences, but you won't be able to tell on the eye, I don't think. So we have Supernova. And from W7 we have Horizon. Oh, they are beautiful. They have like a bronzy pink reflect. This palette is just absolutely beautiful. Like the Huda one is just stunning, and I'm so glad I have it in my life. Next we have Karma. Then we have Constellation, which, I mean, the W7 ones are a bit crumbly, but they look so similar. Okay, two final shades. We have Gold Glitch. Oh my goodness, that is just absolutely incredible. And then we have Bronze Age from W7. Oh, come on. They literally look so similar. I'd say the W7 one's probably a bit more bronzy, but oh my god, they are beautiful. And then the last shade from Huda is called Frazzled. And then the last one from W7 is called Andromeda. Probably saying that totally wrong. But oh, again, very, very similar. So yeah, that is the last row. Only very minor differences between the swatches. The Huda ones feel so soft and creamy, and the W7 one feels maybe a bit more crumbly. I think the big difference is going to be the formula after all, but let's dive on into the eye look and see what happens. What I am obviously going to do on both sides is prime, and I'm just going to take the P. Louise in the shade 2. Just want to put a little bit of this down so the shadows have something to stick to. Okay, so I'm going to do Huda on this eye and W7 on this eye, and I think I'm going to do just like a purpley look, cut crease shade. We are just testing out the formula, so it doesn't need to be anything like amazing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this shade here by Huda, which is Hot Mess, and it's just one of the deepest purples, and I'm going to start by placing this in my outer corner. And then, oh, and by the way, the W7 one comes with a brush in it, which is really good. I don't think I'm going to use this. It's quite a chunky one. It looks like the ABH brushes. So I'm not going to actually use the brush in this palette, but I'm just letting you know there is like a brush in the eyeshadow palette and a mirror. So I think that's pretty good for £9.50. So I'm going to take the shade Little Dipper from W7, and I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. I have got a different brush. So there was a little bit of kickback with this. With the Huda one there wasn't any, so there's immediately like a first difference, but to be honest I kind of expected that. From the Huda palette I'm going to take the shade Off Balance, which is another like lilac-y shade, and I'm just going to blend that like at the very top of where that shade is, and I'm also going to bring it across the front of my lid. Now I'm going to take Milky Way by W7 and just do the exact same thing on this eye. Blend the top of this shade. I'm not taking it too high because I'm going to take another shade, but just blending that all the way across. And then going back in with the Huda palette, I'm going to take the shade Libra, which is this like beautiful like pastel purple. It is stunning. It's like a lilac shade. And I'm just going to use that to blend out the very, very top edges of this. Then from the W7 palette, I'm going to take this light purple here, which is called Oracle, I think. I do the exact same thing. Excuse you. Okay, so these are all the matte shades on. I'd say you can definitely tell that this side is a little bit more pigmented than this side, but overall I feel like you get the same effect essentially. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do half cut creases on both my eyes. As per, I'm going to use my P. Louise Moo Mitchell Acid Rain Paint in Blank Canvas. I'm going to do this off camera and then be right back so we can play with some of those beautiful shimmers. Okay, so I've done my half cut creases on both sides and now we can play with a shimmer, and I'm so excited because I love shimmers. I don't really know which one to go for though. I think I might use this one, the like pink to gold reflect. This is the shade Supernova, and I'll try that first, see how I get on with it. So I've left a gap at the front of my lid because I'm going to go in with Cosmic. I'm just going to take the same brush, and I'm going to put this right at the front. And then to blend out the outer corner, not the outer corner, then to blend out this line, I'm going to take that first shade again that we took, the Hot Mess shade. So I've just spent some time blending all of these mattes together. So let's now move on to the W7 palette. So I'm going to take the shade Horizon from this palette, and I'm going to do what I did on the other side and put this all on the lid. There might be a difference with formula because obviously the shimmers in the Huda palette are absolutely incredible. I don't know if you need to wet these or anything, so let's just apply them dry. Then I'm going to flip my brush over and I'm going to take the shade Orbit and just put that at the front of my lid. And then I'm going to take Little Dipper again, and I'm just going to use that to blend out where the shimmer ends. So now we need a like blinding inner corner and a brow bone. So I think I'm going to take, I don't know actually. I think I'm going to take Galaxy, which is this one here. If it's not bright enough, I can go in with Supernova. But I'm going to try this. Okay, it is lovely, but I am going to add a tiny bit of Supernova, which is this one, and just to brighten it up a tiny bit. I'm going to take Solar from this side, which is definitely going to be too dark for me. I thought with the other one it would be a bit more gold. And then I'm going to take the Power Shimmer from W7 and put a little bit of that on top. Not like I think that that needs it because it's already pretty blinding. But this side just looks a bit more dark. I don't know, I think I kind of prefer that shimmer on the W7 side. I just did my inner corner completely, forgot to do my lower lash line. So I think from the Huda Beauty, I'm going to take the shade Karma, which is like a neutral shade, and that will blend in with the purple we've already got there. And I'm just going to deepen up the purple on the outer corner. And then from the W7 palette, I'm going to take the shade Constellation at the front. This one's definitely a little bit more warm toned. And then I'm going to take Little Dipper and just deepen up the outer corner. Okay, so now I'm done. This is the completed eye looks using both of the palettes. I'm going to hop off camera, do my lashes and mascara, you know the drill by now, and then I'll be right back with my final thoughts. Right, so I'm back. Just to let you know, my lashes are Unicorn Cosmetics Peachy Pie Mascara, I Heart Revolution, Chocolate Dipped, what else? And my lips are actually the Huda Beauty Liquid Matte in the shade Girlfriend. So yeah, I thought I'd throw on a Huda Beauty lip. But yeah, this is the completed look. I really hope you liked the look I created today. And in terms of the palette, well, I think the tutorial spoke for itself really, because apart from maybe a few like shade differences, I don't think you can tell really what side is which. Like, looking from a distance, they look exactly the same. You'll have to let me know on camera and down below what you think, but from where I'm sitting at a distance, you really cannot tell. If you really were to sit and like inspect up close, you can definitely tell that the Huda one has a bit more pigment and it's just a little bit more darker in shades. But guys, I'm gonna be honest, they're literally exactly the same, which is so baffling. Like, how is one palette £68 and one is £9.50? Not 68, 58. How is one palette £58 and the other one is £9.50? Like, it is actually crazy. I mean, I know the packaging is much more different to the Huda one. Like, it's much more bigger and it's more chunkier, but I'm not being funny, no one would be able to tell if you had the Huda one or the W7 one on. The W7 packaging obviously has like a mirror and stuff, and it has a brush in it, and I think it's really good. So I think even some of the swatches looked pretty much identical. Again, very minor differences in the swatches, like definitely some of the shades had different undertones, but overall when you put them on your eyes, I know I haven't used every single shade in the palette, but just for example for the look I've created today, you really cannot tell. It literally looks like I've got the exact same palette on both of my eyes. So I'm super impressed with the W7 one, and this just makes me more excited to try the nude palettes, because the nude palettes are like £27 each, and you can get all 3 of the nude ones by W7 for like £13. So I'm very excited to try that. I need to hurry up and order the rubbing alcohol, because if it's going to be similar to this, then you are going to save yourself a lot of money. I mean, there is like minor differences in the formula, like for example, the Huda Beauty mattes are much more pigmented and easy to blend, whereas the W7 ones, they do require a little bit of building, but you do get there eventually. The shimmers in the Huda Beauty palette are 100% better. Like, that formula is unreal. I didn't even need to wet that and I had such a good result. Whereas with the W7 one, you do have to wet them to get them to like full pigmentation. But again, you just put in a little bit more effort and you get literally the exact same result. So I'm very impressed. I did have a little bit of fallout on both sides when putting the shimmers on, so there's no really difference there. So I'm going to say that the W7 Total Eclipse palette is 100% a dupe for the Huda Beauty Mercury Retrograde. They look so similar and you can get similar results. So if you can't afford to buy the Huda Beauty one at £58, pick up the W7 one. It's £9.50 and it's beautiful and you can get such similar results. So I'm definitely going to recommend the W7 one for you. And yeah, as I said, I cannot wait to try the nude ones. So guys, that pretty much rounds up my thoughts and opinions on these 2 palettes and whether this is a dupe of this. And I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like me to do more dupe videos in the future, then please let me know down below and what palettes you'd like me to do like dupe videos on. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and I will see you in my next video. Bye!